Welcome viewers, all 13 of them right now. 3 more subscribers since my last video. That's not bad. What's this commercial? Okay, this is the 9th of February. It's been 9 days since my last video, and in my last video things were probably a little bit better than what they are now if you consider like the market cap and the price of Bitcoin and everything. But I'm well. I've come through it. You know, it was a rough couple of days when the market cap was all the way down to, I think, around 270 or 80 billion, and these coins were trading at an, well, all-time low. It feels like a lot of them, but if you see their ICO prices, then obviously they weren't. But some of the coins that came out, you know, just a week ago, they probably were, and some of them are still trading lower than their ICO price. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the market, a little bit about what's going on in other areas of the finance world. For instance, the United States, where it's crazy on the stock market, the Dow Jones, you know, going up and down like a bloody yo-yo. I've never seen anything like it, and I've followed the American and the global stock markets for more than 20 years. And we're going to have a look at a couple of coins that I believe are good for the future, and they are still trading at a good price. And I will tell you a little bit about ICOs and the prices. It's a bit cold actually. I let the window open. It's a very nice day in Scandinavia in general. It's evening time, but I will be planning to go skiing probably on Sunday if the weather holds up. It's really nice skiing here now. If you anyone not from Scandinavia, you should definitely come here to ski. So, what have we got? Bitcoin trading at around $8,600. I do like to follow Bitcoin live. I mean, I look at Bitcoin and I know, at least the way things are today, I know what the general market is doing. It does move very simultaneously with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin pulled back to around 6,000, then also the general market was pulling back to around 270 billion on the market cap. Now, if we bring up a longer chart, you can see that it doesn't look very good, does it? You know, it's been going. We peaked here on in the middle of December or end of December, around 20,000. We went through the holidays, you know, a bit of a dip. Then it looked like it was rebounding a bit in the beginning of January. You know, people coming back from holidays, people starting to, you know, make some trades, interest. And then it's just been going, you know, down and down, a little bit up and down and down. It's just been a bloody bloodbath, I can tell you. A real bloodbath. And it has been challenging, not to say the least, for me and for some of my friends. We have had some exposure into the cryptocurrency market space, and we have been bleeding out of our bottoms. But now things are looking up. Today, I think we had a bit of a spike from around 6 p.m. as you can see, and now I hope that we can look towards 9,000 and 10,000 on the Bitcoin, which will of course bring the rest of the market up. At least it has done in the future. Okay, so in the background, I'm watching CNBC. And you know, it's crazy what's going on there. The Dow Jones index, okay, has dropped. Today it's down another 341 points. It was down 1,000 points the day before, and a few days ago it was intraday, meaning the highest, you know, the biggest swings of the day. It was down 1,600 points. Now this is, you know, for us who like to follow cryptocurrency, this is a little bit, you know, it's hilarious, because this reminds you a little bit of the cryptocurrency graph. You see going up and up and up, of course, over a longer time frame. But we did peak here, at around 26,600 points for the Dow Jones, and the pullback has been huge. You know, it's more than 10%, which is it will be the worst week in 9 years. And 9 years, that must be, you know, back to, you know, financial crisis times, 2008, 2009. It's and no one can really say why. This is the crazy thing. They're saying, oh, all the volatility that we didn't get, you know, in November, December, is just coming now. And the fundamentals of these companies are still good. So no one really knows. They're saying something about the Fed, that the Federal Reserve in the United States may raise the interest rates. But, you know, that's been talked about before. That's not new. There is also no geopolitical risk. So I've never seen anything like it, to be honest, and I've been following the market for a long time. The last time I remember moves like this was 2008, you know. Okay, so what does this mean for the markets in general? What does it mean for the cryptocurrency markets? For those of you who don't know, by the way, the Dow Jones Industrial Average Index is composed of 30 of the biggest industrial companies in the United States. You find companies there like American Express, 3M, Apple, which were recently introduced from being just on the NASDAQ, which is you know, the tech index. Caterpillar, Coca-Cola, Disney, General Electric, McDonald's, Microsoft, Nike. These are all very well-known companies all over the world, and you know, the millions and billions of dollars invested. So you know, for these percentage-wise here for the day, it doesn't look that bad. But when you like General Electric down 17% for the year, IBM 5%, Intel 8%. These are really, really big drops, and this is what's being talked about now. And I think for the cryptocurrency markets, this is actually a good thing, because it's taken away some of the interest of, you know, putting the cryptocurrency space down, calling it a bubble, calling it, you know, tulip markets from, or whatever, you know, calling it Ponzi scheme. They're not talking about that so much in the mainstream media these days. It's been all about the stock markets. So when you go to one of the news places where I like to look for cryptocurrency news, ccn.com, you can see now that the sentiment has changed. There are a lot more positive news articles now. Well, the first one, IRS prepares to bring the hammer down on Bitcoin tax cheats. That's not really, that's just they want to regulate. And that's a good thing. I mean, I'm all for it. I think everybody, you know, serious investors are, that it is regulated. But if we, you know, continue down the page, Binance has opened again. They were down for you know, a day or so because they were doing an upgrade or some maintenance. There was there was a rumor that it might have been a hack, which obviously then wasn't true, which is good. I have a few coins on Binance, so I'm happy that I can log in there again. The other stuff is good, you know. Bitcoin Cash spikes 25%. All of the articles seem to be more positive now, as opposed to 2 or 3 days ago, where everything was, you know, oh, Merrill Lynch says that it's a big bubble, cryptocurrencies will never, you know, get back to where they were when they peaked. Bubble, you know, you've heard it all before. There's nothing new there. So now that the focus is more on the stock markets, and especially in the United States, which then again does every time they sneeze in the United States, the rest of the world catches a cold, as they say. It does affect the rest of the market, especially in Asia. China and Japan's down a lot, and probably will go down again on Monday. So that's good for us, I think. That's good. So I hope that we did hit a bottom. I do hope that it's more, you know, smooth sailing from here, and maybe we can just, you know, tick, 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 you know, slowly upwards and onwards from here. So I'm going to look at a few coins that I do believe even though the market has recovered a little, they are still probably at a bargain. At least they're much cheaper than what they were. Ripple down to, well, it was actually as far down as 68 cents. Now it's at 91 cents. Probably still not a bad price, considering it was over $3. If that was a correct price, I don't know. I don't have a lot of exposure to Ripple. I think the market cap already is a little bit too high, considering it's $35 billion. I think if you look at a company like Visa, it's only worth, like double or 3 times the value of Ripple. So I'm not that keen on Ripple at these prices anyway. But a coin that I am more keen on is NEO, the huge Chinese coin that people say can maybe take over for Ethereum, and also in time maybe for Bitcoin. So NEO at $115 may be a good price. It's at least almost half price of what it was when it was going up to $200. IOTA has come back a lot. It was as low as 120, so that's had a 50% bounce. Tron, everyone loves Tron. Went up to 25 cents. Now it's 4 cents. I don't know enough about Tron, to be honest. I just know that it has a huge following, and the price is, it's 2.8 billion market cap. It's probably more edible than what it was. VeChain is another one, raved about a lot. Went all the way up to $8. So a lot of these coins that the experts say are the way of the future are now essentially half price, and some of them even more. Omisego, $13. Was it $25? Steam, I think it went up to $8. These are all, I'm not going to say a lot about these coins because there are millions of videos that will tell you stuff about them. Maybe I'll do a video later when I get more information and more knowledge myself. I've just bought a lot of these based on information I picked up. So let's look at a few outside the top 100, the ones with the low market caps that have a lot of room to grow. I have been talking before about Utrust, 31 cents, went all the way up to $1.20. Oyster Pearl, I think it used to be called Blue Oyster or Oyster Pearl. Now it's just called Oyster. 93 cents. That's actually quite big. I picked up quite a few of these going down. They were all the way down at 35 cents. But of course, 93 cents is a lot cheaper than $4.80. So just take that into consideration. I'd like to say a few things about when you regard price, because people, it's so cheap, this has come down a lot. I would like to point out the fact that the ICO prices of some of these coins are a lot lower than even what the coins are now. And I like to, especially when there are projects that haven't been around for that long, for instance, Utrust. Superman is a big fan of Utrust, saying, it's so cheap. It's gone down to 31 cents, went up to $1.20. That is true. But bear in mind, the ICO price was a lot lower. Okay? I like to use a page called ICOdrops.com. Here you can see all the active ICOs and upcoming ICOs, and also ended ICOs. So if I look at Utrust, okay, search for Utrust, here we go. Utrust is a revolutionary payment platform that empowers buyers to pay with cryptocurrency while providing a groundbreaking purchase protection mechanism. A lot of difficult words for me there. So using ICO drops, you can find out a lot about these coins anyway. Not only the price of the ICO, but information about the coin itself. They did have an ICO on the 20th of the sale ended 20th of November. I think it was sold out fairly quickly, and in these times the popular ICOs got sold out very fast. So it was fully subscribed. $21 million they got in market cap, or what was paid in. Now you can see, even at the low price of 31 cents, Utrust is now trading. Here you can see it's trading now at a 4.79x times the ICO price, meaning that if you spent $1,000 in the ICO, you would now have $4,790, almost 5-time return since 20th of November, which is huge. Where are you ever going to find that in a stock market, for God's sakes? People saying it's cheap. So, you know, you can see here also, one Utrust you could buy in the ICO for 6.5 cents. So those of you who say, oh, it's so cheap, it was at $1.20, now it's only 31 cents. It's cheaper than it was, but come on, it's not that cheap. And there are more of these. There was another one that was very popular. It was sold out in also 20 minutes. John McAfee, who is a character that's followed a lot on Twitter. He has a lot of influence, and he does recommend ICOs and coins, and usually gets paid for doing so. And usually the things that he recommends, especially, you know, in these euphoria times where everything was going to the moon, things went up a lot after he recommended them. He did recommend something called InsurePal, which is like insurance on the blockchain. Sold out very, very quickly. 16th of January, it's not a long time ago. And it only came out, I think, a couple of weeks ago. And you can see that they only cost 10 cents. And it's 1.79, so that's a 79% return. Even though, if you look at the chart, at 17 cents, a lot of people will feel that they lost money, because if you got in after the ICO, I think one of the cheapest prices you could get it was around, you know, between 20 and 30 cents. You know, went over 30 cents, 35, 36 cents. And if you see the volume here, that these were the prices people were buying them for. You know, so 23, 25, you know, over 20 cents, which is double ICO price, which has been considered, you know, cheap. But bear that in mind, because that means when that comes out, a lot of people who are having, you know, sometimes double returns, like in this case, or 5-6 times returns, I don't think it's that cheap, to be honest. There has been another one. This is the last one I'm going to mention. It's now trading already. It's been listed. It's called The Key. This was also sold out in, I think, 10-15 minutes. It was very, you know, talked about a lot. Had a lot of hype going in. But of course, when this one came out, which was just a few days ago, I'm going to see if I can find the exact date. Okay, I'll bring up the year-to-date chart. I can't sort of seem to read it, but I know that it came out only a few days ago, when the market was, you know, really bad. Well, you can see, yeah, here you see the 8th of February, so it was 2 days ago, 7th of February. I'm just, you know, retarded for not being able to read a chart. I've been looking at too many charts lately, so that's, you know, forgive me. Okay, 7th of February, which the market wasn't doing all that well on the 7th of February, you know, 2 days ago. And of course, when this comes out, it was trading lower, 2.7. Okay, I didn't mention what the ICO price was, so I'm going to check it again here. The Key, not to be mixed up with another one called Self-Key, by the way. I'm going to check out The Key. The Key VIP, decentralized ecosystem of an identity verification tool using national big data and blockchain. So many fancy words. I wish I knew more about it. Anyway, here you can see 0.035 cents, like 3.5 cents. Returns since ICO 0.93. So if you like the key, check it out. It's supposed to be very interesting. If you like it, you can get in now at a lower price than the ICO, which is great if you like the project, because you haven't been able to do that before in most of these other ICOs that came out in the middle of the boom. So bear that in mind. So from now on, whenever you buy a coin, especially one of the newer ones, check out the ICO price and see if you still think it's a bargain, knowing that most of the people who owns it got in at a much lower price. Okay, I think I'm going to end it there. Today is the 9th of February. If you like my content, do subscribe. Give me a like if you like. If you have questions, just leave a comment. I also have an email address called cryptoscandinavia@gmail.com. One last look at the market of Bitcoin. 8,000, it's gone down a little bit, 8,600, but it's still all right. A final look at the market cap, which is 420,000, which is a lot more than 280,000 where we were a few days ago. So the future's so bright, I got to wear shades. I don't know where I have shades right now, but when I go skiing this weekend on Sunday, I probably will wear shades because it's going to be nice and sunny. That's it for me. All of you have a nice weekend. Bye for now.